Hi, this is Tutor Nick P, and this is lesson 769. Title of today's lesson is The Difference Between Aboriginal, Indigenous, and Native. Okay, somebody wants a screenshot, do it now. Let's get right to it. Yeah, as an ESL teacher, sometimes I get questions like, what's the difference between these three? Okay, let's take a look here. All three of these terms can be used to refer to people living in an area either from prehistoric times or according to the earliest records. So, and if you really try to examine the definition of each of these terms, it's really no difference, or the difference is so subtle, it's not worth putting too much time into. However, the words have different feelings and sometimes are used in different situations. Now, let's look at the first one. Indigenous seems to be the most PC, politically correct of the three terms, and to be the most encouraged in the media. So when you listen to the media, they'll tell you, oh, you should use this one is safe, this one won't offend anybody, or something along that line. All right, let's continue. The term Aboriginal is most often associated with Australia. So when someone throughout the world hears the word Aboriginal, the first thing they'll think of is the native people of Australia. All right, let's continue. Some say it may now be an insensitive term. However, there are many tribes that claim to have no problem with it. Yeah, I am kind of curious. Throughout the world, if you are from any of these native tribes, do you have problems with any of these words? Or what is the one that is most preferred? Or is the media making a much bigger deal about this than it is in reality? Let me know in the comments. All right, let's continue. Aboriginal is also used for some tribes in Canada, and it is commonly used in Taiwan, and it has no negative connotations there at all. Yeah, I know that because I live in Taiwan, and it's been that way for a long, long time. It's just a normal word. That's why often Taiwanese students are asking, what's the difference? They seem to have the same meaning. Okay. It is considered the normal word for referring to Taiwan's native people. Yeah, they would never think that had anything wrong with it in Taiwan if they use this term. Okay, and we have examples here just to try to, give you a better feel. All right, now let's look at native. Native is the most often associated with the U.S. for Native Americans. However, some are also starting to say this term is falling out of favor. Again, is that true? Among the Native Americans, or if you are Native American or partly Native American, do you have any issue with that term? Do you just consider that the normal term, or are you even proud of that term? Let me know in the comments. Okay, let's continue. All right. And here's examples that we can kind of help to guide us. Many Canadians and Alaskan tribes prefer the term Inuit. Yes, sometimes I think it's better to use the one that they actually prefer. So there's a lot of Canadian tribes and Alaskan tribe would rather you probably say Inuit than any of these three terms here. It's more personal. In a lot of those Inuit languages, it's actually the word for people, and that's kind of the word they prefer. All right, New Zealand native people are called Maori, and I think they prefer that name rather than these terms up here. All right, now let's go on. And here we have some examples. There are 5 million Native Americans in the U.S. today, of course. The Aboriginal people of Australia have lived there for at least 50,000 years, or at least that's what they think, that's what they say. Indigenous is a general term that can be used to refer to all native people in most countries throughout the world. Okay, well, I hope this gives you a better feel of when you're more likely to use one of these terms or one of the other terms. Thank you for your time. Bye-bye.